Let me ask you a question. Do y'all not see what's happening? I mean, come on, man. You don't gotta be a rocket scientist to put two and two together here. Here's my problem with what the Browns are about to do to poor Shedeur Sanders. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great night or morning whenever you're seeing this. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, here we are again. We got to talk about him, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Shedeur Sanders. And by the way, I want to throw this in there at the beginning of this video. I do apologize. This is going up later than I wanted it to. I was anticipating on uploading this early on Thursday. You're going to see it later, but we'll leave it at this. Well, life problems, they got in the way. You know how it is. I had some stuff going on I need to get taken care of. I did that. But rather less, you're still seeing the video on your Thursday night. Better late than never, I guess, right? Where we last left off with this Shedeur situation, I made a video where I talked about, and the title of that video is, a matter of fact, what the Browns are doing to Shedeur Sanders is a disgrace. And I still stand 10 toes behind that, and that's how I feel about it. If you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out for yourself. But if you don't want to go watch it, I'll give you a brief run through. I was talking about how ridiculous it is that Shedeur Sanders was... All right, calm down, Matt. I'm not going to get too riled up on my Thursday. Take a deep breath. Shedeur Sanders is ranked behind Dylan freaking Gabriel, with all due respect, on the depth chart. Doesn't make any sense. How can one guy, being Shedeur, outperform everybody in fall camp, yet he's QB4. And I told you, I'm not even mad about Flacco or Kenny Pickett being ranked ahead of him. Why did I say that? Because they've been there, they've been in the league. That's stereotypical protocol. It happens all the time. You're going to give Pickett, even though Pickett's trash, and Flacco the upper hand. But when it comes to Gabriel, there's no explanation, there's no reasoning, there's no excuse. You can't even say, oh, well, he was with the team last year. He knows the playbook better. No, they both got drafted the same class. I'm not going to go on a major rampage or tangent. You get where I'm going at with this. I think it's dumb that Shedeur Sanders is ranked behind Dylan Gabriel. That is my only gripe. However, with that being said, you guys have been blowing, and I mean blowing me up ever since that video in the comment section and on Twitter and social media in general. By the way, if there's anything you want to send to me, whether it be news or you just want to tweet at me, feel free to follow the Twitter. I give you guys a bunch of updates on there with videos and future stuff. Twitter's just a good way to keep up with our community even more than what you already do. And I'm not trying to sell you something, by the way. Joining our Twitter community, following it, or whatever. It's 100% free. But like I was saying, and I'd say on that video alone, and it's not a bad thing, but there had to be at least, I don't know, 100 comments of people saying, well, Matt, what do you mean what the Browns are doing to Shedeur Sanders? It's a disgrace. It's a slap in the face. Did you know he's going to be starting Friday night in the preseason opener? And yes, I do, but that doesn't change anything. My stance on it is still the same. Let me explain, right? Number one, we are not talking about the Browns naming Shedeur Sanders as a starting quarterback for week 1 of regular season. We are talking about, and can't emphasize this enough, the preseason. Just because he is going to be starting in the preseason, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I mean this in the most respectful way possible, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. This does not mean anything, guys. It doesn't change the fact that Shedeur Sanders is not ahead of Dylan Gabriel, at least in the Browns' eyes. I'm not going to show you all the comments, but I am going to show you this one. I do greatly appreciate it because there are people that are genuinely curious about what's really going on here. And remember, guys, the only dumb question in this life is a question that's not asked. I'm not even singling this one out. You can go to the comment section on a recent video. There's about 50 people saying this. I don't understand how he is listed as a 4th string when they also just said he would be the preseason starter this Friday. And by the way, ironically enough, when I uploaded that video, they announced he's going to be starting Friday, I think an hour after that video got posted on YouTube. To address this comment, though, more times than not, your starters are not going to be playing in the preseason, and if they are playing, it's not going to be much, maybe 1 or 2 series. And the reason you're going to see Shedeur Sanders, and if I had to guess, Tyler Huntley playing Friday is because they don't want Flacco out there. I mean, he's a vet. He's pushing 40. Gabriel still somewhat, I guess he's recovering from that injury still, and then you have Pickett, who's also battling some injury problems. And although Gabriel's been practicing and whatnot, they don't want to risk anything. They don't want to push anything. And by default, that leaves one guy left, Sanders. He's going to be your starting quarterback. There's not much more to explain, and I can't dumb it down any more than that. I don't know what more to add to this, and I know somehow, some way, people are still going to be confused about this. They're going to see Shedeur Sanders starting tomorrow night, and they're going to lose their minds and go, oh, yeah, it looks like he's leading the race. Let me clarify again. No, he is not. He is QB4. Do I, Matt B. Great, think he's QB4? Absolutely not. You know how I feel about him. But the Browns, they do, until he proves otherwise. Getting that out the way, I will be talking about this game tomorrow night. You know we're going to make a video on it. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this up in live time. When do they play? If they play at like 6, 7 p.m., I might can get it. Hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where's the brownie? Oh, yeah. They play at 6 p.m. Central. They play the Panthers. I might. Yeah. Be on the lookout tomorrow night. I can probably get the video recorded, edited, and uploaded by 10 or 11 p.m. We're going to talk all about it. And by the way, I'm asking you guys a question. Is this going to be the most watched preseason NFL game of all time? I can't remember the last time I've been this excited for a preseason game. It's not going to be the same, but it is going to be a little similar to the Colorado experience. You're going to have a ton of people tuning into this game to hate watch. Remember, why was everybody watching Colorado? Because they was wanting them to lose. They was wanting to watch Shedeur, Coach Prime, the entire Sanders family fall flat on their face. Remember, this isn't just for Shedeur Sanders, but it's for every professional sports team and college team. When viewership is high, 70, 80% of those viewers are hate watchers. They're not fans. It's going to be hype. You know it's going to be trending on Twitter for better or for worse. And let me throw this in there. Do not be one of those people, and I've said this all throughout training camp, that Shedeur goes out there, he balls out, let's just say, hypothetically speaking for the sake of this video, he goes, we'll say 11 for 14, 1 touchdown, 0 INTs. Plays phenomenal. Do not be one of those losers and dorks that goes, oh yeah, well it's the preseason, Matt. Oh yeah, let's see him do that. Shut up, nerd. Because you know dang well, if Shedeur goes out there and he goes 3 for 14 with 3 interceptions, those are going to be the same people that are first to critique him on Twitter and say, oh, yeah, he's a bum. I told you he's a bust. No, keep that same energy. You can't tell me it's not important if you're going to be the same person that is ready to throw him to the fire. That's not fair. Outside of that, here's my problem with what the Browns are about to do to poor Shedeur Sanders. Leading up into this game, he has had and I'm talking about very, very, very limited reps with the ones. To go on top of that, he's going to have no weapons at his disposal. Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman are not going to be playing in the ball game. That is confirmed, by the way. In other terms, Shedeur is going to be throwing the football to future insurance salesmen. Kevin Stefanski has also stated, and I quote, by and large, we're going to rest our starters Friday night versus the Panthers. According to reports, Shedeur will work with some 2s and 3s versus Panthers starters. Let me ask you a question. Do y'all not see what's happening? I mean, come on, man. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to put 2 and 2 together here. They're setting this man up for failure. You can't tell me otherwise. I don't think there's any debate about this or argument, not even to the slightest. You know what they're doing, right? If not, I'll dumb this down. They are going to send Shedeur Sanders out to the Wolves because they know if they don't give him an opportunity, their Sanders family, Coach Prime, all the Shedeur fans, all the Primetime fans, and even Browns fans, they are going to be complaining all year long. We want Shedeur. Give Shedeur a chance. Yada, 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 and whatnot. So the Browns are like, all right, let's just get this out of the way right now. Let's throw him out there to the Wolves with no weapons, nobody to throw to, and prove to everyone he's not as good or he's not ready as they think he is. The Browns have been scheming this up for a while. They were going, okay, how can we give him a shot but make it the hardest shot possible? This isn't even like a three-pointer in basketball. It's not even a half-court shot. This is a full-court shot. He has no weapons at his disposal, no offensive line, and y'all know as good as well as I do, I don't care if you're Tom Brady. If you don't have an offensive line that can hold up, you're not going to do anything out there. This is a professional setup. Do not be fooled. I'm warning you the night before the game because they want everybody out there to go, like some of you are doing, oh, yeah, Shedeur's starting, they're giving him a shot. No, they're not. They're setting him up to fail. I guarantee you, the GM, maybe even the head coach, they're rooting against Shedeur. One of the worst things that could happen for the Browns in this game, no lie, is Shedeur goes out there and balls out. Oh, man. Could you imagine the controversy heading into the season? If he goes out there and plays unbelievably well, which could happen. I've seen him do it at Colorado with far less talent than some other teams. They're going to have a sticky situation on their hands. Here's the great news for Shedeur and Shedeur fans. He's used to playing with a terrible offensive line. So if the O-line can't hold up, it's not going to be like he hasn't been put in that situation before, if that makes sense. I'm not comparing the college game to the NFL game, but it's not like he wasn't getting sacked and he was playing behind a professional offensive line at Georgia or Ohio State or something like that. He was playing at Colorado. The one problem he had in college, and I'm going to be looking forward to this a lot in this preseason game, is will he throw the ball away? He held onto the ball way too long in college. He did make some plays doing it, but in NFL, you just got to cut your losses short and throw it out of bounds or hit the check down or something like that. Even just run up in the pocket, take a 2-3 yard sack, because in college a lot, he would run backwards, side to side, and he'd take a 20-yard sack. And by that point in time, you don't even have a legit shot of converting a first down from that point on. I'm excited, though. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. How do I think he's going to perform, though? Here's the last thing we'll talk about, and we'll end the video off here. I don't expect them to be dialing up some deep balls. It's going to be a lot of handoffs, a lot of short passes. If I had to give you a number, I'd say he may have I have a hard time believing over 15. We'll say around 12, 14 pass attempts, and he'll complete about 7 of those. So we'll say 7 for 13, something like that. Yeah, I like that. 7 for 13. I'll give him 85 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's my prediction for the game. Let me know in the comment section how you think it's going to perform. Many more things I could say, but we're going to end off here. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below.